of a shot of winning. We can beat anybody in the world, and I think we're going to win next Sunday.
And welcome back to the New York Jets Atlantic Flight Podcast. What a podcast this is going to be, because it is the Week 1 preview against the Steelers. We've been waiting such an awfully long time to do this. I've got Timmy with us. The rest of the crew, they're all off working or out shopping and doing other things, so it's just us. And moving through the season, just a little bit of housekeeping. We aim to try and give you a preview and a game review every week, barring people getting behind the microphone because of work issues. But that's what we are aiming to do anyway. I've got to start this off. We've just had some breaking news within the last hour. I don't know too much about it because I've literally just finished work and I walked into a SH1T storm of AVT, Elijah Vera Tucker. Diana Rossini broke the news, I believe, and I'm quoting here. According to multiple reports, Jets right guard Elijah Vera Tucker suffered a potentially serious injury, that's in brackets, that could require surgery. ESPN's Adam Schefter reported that it's an arm injury for Vera Tucker and he's seeking a second opinion before undergoing a procedure. That really doesn't sound good. Timmy, this is probably the worst news that we could get, because let's not underrate how serious this is for the rest of the offensive line and potentially our running game as well.
Yeah, we know what we're supposed to be on offense this year, ground and pound. Our strength was our offensive line. It was the one part of the team where we felt very much like, we could be confident about their abilities. Now, we're definitely going to be affected by this. I see lots of people throwing around that he's a top 5 player. He's probably an above average, at the very least, an above average starting guard in the league. And is surrounded by some strength. And the fact that he was made a captain this year says a lot. He is our highest tenure lineman, and all of a sudden we're very young looking. Now, Myers is probably going to step in for him, but Myers probably is bottom end of the league starting guard, if he's a starting guard at all. So we're definitely going to be affected by this. Some of the talking points that I had around, the preview for this game were about the run game, and I'll touch on those later. But I think this is going to hurt us. If I'm Braylon Allen, Breece Hall, I've my head held low today because I'm disappointed to hear this news, because I'm not going to be getting the same openings put up in front of me as if AVT was there. Just to say as well, from a human perspective, not just about us and about the team, it's devastating for AVT. He has, had such a bad run of luck with injuries. I think I read somewhere that this might be a tricep injury. The second year he was with us, he missed most of the season with a tricep injury as well. He tore his tricep. He's going for second opinion, I believe, which let's hope that it doesn't need a surgery, but it's looking very much like it. And I think Connor Hughes mentioned as well earlier that it's a long period of time he's going to miss, potentially the whole season. And if it's the whole season, let's be real, it might be the last time we've ever seen him in Jets green.
Yeah, because bearing in mind this is also his last year, so he's going to be looking. And I think it was the back end of last week. I mean, people were then obviously he got made team captain, and then all of a sudden there's now talk of, it'd be a good time to make AVT a new contract right now. Let's get it done. And now this has happened, so this is going to throw shade. Let's face it on this. And as you're right, this could very well be the last time we see AVT, sadly, in a Jets jersey. I'm praying that wrong. But and as you pointed out as well, this isn't just about football. This is about a human being as well. So our thoughts and prayers go towards Elijah Vera Tucker, him and his family, and all our Jets family, and I hope that he's going to be all right. As we've touched on this before, we can't underrate exactly what AVT brings to this line. In pre-season and in practice as well, it was noticeable how many times we actually ran right through Vera Tucker as well. And he seems to be probably our best run blocker on the offensive line. It's weird though, isn't it? Because we had the unofficial depth chart as well come out yesterday, and everyone's penciled in. And there were some surprises. For example, Jeremy Ruckert is in at number 1, and Alan Lazard is in at the slot as well, and Xavier Gibson's there and everything. But the one that stood out for me was John Simpson at left guard, because we still
Xavier
don't.
Newman. Yeah.
So we at the moment it says John Simpson is playing number 1 at left
No, but
guard.
you said Xavier Gibson, Xavier Newman.
Oh, beg your pardon. Beg your pardon. Sorry. So it's John Simpson's penciled in for left guard 1. But we still don't know. There is still no word, as it stands right now as we're recording this, there is still no word that he's actually fit. All we've been told is he should be good to go, which isn't a glowing endorsement.
He did show up in practice yesterday, but we're in the final hours. The injury report came out today and he seems to be active. But it's a very good point. It's just another thing now. So all of a sudden our position of strength goes to, do we have an injury? What I really liked about our offensive line is if you look at the left side, you Fashanu, who's a really good pass protector, beside somebody who's really strong in the run game, John Simpson, on the left side. So, and on the right side, then you'd AVT, who's a good pass protector. That's his main strength, beside Mimbu, whose really strength is in run blocking. So we had good balance. They were going to help each other, support each other on each side. And it's kind of all thrown up in the air now, because let's assume Simpson starts, because if he doesn't, then it's concerning, I suppose.
It really is.
It's probably going to be Xavier Newman who steps in there, I would think, even though he's in the depth chart as a right guard, but we don't actually have anybody in the depth chart as a backup left guard. Maybe it's Max Mitchell, which I wouldn't be a big fan of. If it's me, if you put your best 5 guys out there, you probably move Tippmann over to guard, you bring in Myers, and then maybe Newman is the next man up. Tippmann, I think we've seen Tippmann play guard at a high level. Myers has been a centre, all of his career, as far as I know. So I'm not sure what we could expect there. So it's going to be interesting. The one positive I would say is that Myers obviously has played in college with Fields before. They know each other. They've worked together before, and they already have, that fluidity of having worked together before. So that's a positive, I will say. But going into this game, we really need the run game to work.
We do.
That's how we have a path to winning this game. So
this is going to be our bread and butter, isn't it?
If Simpson's not playing, I'd have major concerns. I really hope he's playing. At least, in fairness to the coaching staff, they have had Tippmann and Myers playing side by side quite a lot of the preseason. So it's not fully new. At least they have a small bit of chemistry. So at least that, but it's not great.
Yeah, that's a good point. And maybe, and this is what I said yesterday, I thought when they put that unofficial depth chart out, I thought the first thing that came into mind was gamesmanship. And it's for exactly the reason that you've just said. They're hedging their bets. If Simpson's ready, this would be my starting 5 if Simpson's ready to go. So left tackle across the board. So it would be Fashanu, Simpson. I would actually keep Tippmann at centre. I'm not a big fan of taking one out and moving 2 people. I would keep Tippmann at centre, and I would move Josh Myers to right guard and keep Membu, but I would also activate Essa Poulet or as Essa Pol. And I would do it that way. Someone's going to get elevated anyway, so I'm assuming it's going to be Essa Poulet.
Yeah, I don't know if he's been in camp long enough to understand. I think that the scheme that we're going to run is going to be a mixture of wide zone, and like the lines, the lines mix it up between the different schemes, right? And just if he's coming in, I don't know what. I haven't really looked at him much, to be honest with you. I don't know what he's been doing in college or what kind of run schemes he's run with, but I don't know if he's ready. He's been very little time. I think given the fact that Tippmann and Myers have been side by side so much in the preseason, I think it's the cleanest move. Paul is a projection at the moment, and he's a tackle. It could be how it lands. I just think it might be too soon.
Yeah, I'm a big Cole Leveo fan as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if Leveo is elevated from the practice squad either. Xavier Newman can play guard as well, so keep Tippmann at centre. Josh Myers is still back up, and elevate Xavier Newman to right guard. But God, if Simpson isn't ready to go as well, boy, we got some problems.
Yeah. Look, let's be hopeful of that, and I think that we kind of have to kind of expect that he will, because that's what we've been told. So I think we'll kind of run with it as if that's the case. If it's not, obviously it's a bigger challenge for us, I think.
It's 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 quite ironic because personally speaking, I've just been looking at this preseason and thinking, and there's the Dolphins down the road getting injuries and people getting arrested, and it's just the wheels have fallen off their season weeks, if not months ago, and it's just they look like a hot mess. And I'm thinking to myself, that was us, last year. That was us the year before, arguably the year before that as well. And here we are. We've just come through pre-season relatively unscathed, and then in the last hour this happened, and all of a sudden, on the face of it, it looks like an absolute disaster waiting to happen, as you've touched on. Yep. Sorry, I just got a message there. Sorry about that. I've got where I was now. Right, what I was going to say is this. I got a message and it just completely threw me. Anyway, what I was going to say is this. The run game is going to be so important for us this year. And this is going to be our bread and butter. And when you've got teams, I'm not saying that we are going to be the Eagles, but when you've got teams like the Eagles that are doing it, they're running the ball so much and they're throwing the ball occasionally, so that they're using RPO, play action and all that. But you've got to get the run going first. If we can't get the run going first, this is going to severely dent our RPO and play action, which is what Justin Fields is all about. Late to the party, Ryan's just joined us. Hello, Ryan. You've heard all about ABT. We've just done ABT. Thoughts about the run game? How ABT is going to affect the run game?
Yeah, I think the reality is that it does impact it. We can't shy away from that. He's a Pro Bowl level player, and will continue to be a Pro Bowl level player when he's healthy. But we do have a lot of good options at running back. I think that if it's utilised in the correct way, it's going to keep the defenses honest, which I think is the most important thing. As you referenced there, the Eagles, the way in which they utilise their RPO game and their run game, it means that the likes of AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, they do get that space. They do get that ability to kind of have a bit of free reign in the open field. And that's what we need to do. But it takes so much time to build that, to be consistently good, breaking those lines of scrimmage, getting those yardage through the ground and pound. And then you get those opportunities to release the likes of Garrett Wilson and maybe even Alan Lazard, Christ. But the reality is it's going to take a bit of time. It's not going to happen in this game one. The over-unders on the carries baffles me. Timmy, you mentioned earlier that the over-under on Braylon Allen is 6.5 attempts, and the over-under on Breece Hall is 11.5 attempts. Like, we are going to run it so much more than that, because if we don't, we will not be able to set that platform for the run game. And at that point, if we cannot keep those defenses honest and scheme well enough to open up Garrett Wilson and Mason Taylor and Josh Reynolds and whoever else, Fields is not good enough to throw within those tight windows right now, or at least he's not consistent enough to. So it has to come from the run game first.
Yeah. And sorry, Timmy, you going to say something?
Yeah, I think that's the bet of the year, over 6.5 carries for Braylon Allen. I watched a good bit of the Lions last year because I like to have a bet on their run game. So I'd chime in and watch. And how they used to run their run game was they used to go every second back. So like what I expect us to do is what they did, and I expect the first set of downs that we have, not the first set of downs, the first drive we have, I expect it to be Breece. But then the next time that the offense comes onto the field again for the second drive, they used to rotate Montgomery in for Gibbs. So then I expect Braylon to be the back for the next drive. That's what they used to do for the Lions. So I think they'll have equal carries, and whoever has most carries in the game is who will be most successful when they have the ball on their drive. So I think over 6.5. Second drive of the game, I think he could do that, So I think it's a great bet. But for us to be successful, I think that you called it out perfectly. We absolutely need the run game to be humming. We need Justin Fields to be unpredictable. And I think that we need Arian Smith to be running down, catching long balls when the opening is there as well. And lots of blocking, 2 tight end sets from time to time. That's who we're going to be. That's what our identity is going to be. We just we really need Myers to step up. I think he's going to be the guy. I'm just kind of assuming he is. We just need him to step up. The run game is just going to be fundamental for us.
Yeah, it's still kind of hanging on to the offensive line. We've just touched on tight ends there. Again, this unofficial depth chart has Jeremy Ruckert as 1, Mason Taylor, Stone Smart, and Jelani Woods. Jelani Woods is not going to be tight end 4. Absolutely not. In fact, I possibly, it's a toss-up between Mason Taylor and Jelani Woods who's going to be tight end 1. Seriously, my hot take, I suppose. I do think Mason Taylor and Jelani Woods are going to be tight end 1 and 2, and we are going to see a lot of those two lining up, especially now with AVT going down as well. So obviously Membu's going to need a little bit of help being a rookie against this Steelers line. It's illegal. The Steelers front line, it just shouldn't be allowed. Cameron Hayward, Keenan Benton, Derek Harmon, TJ Watt.
I think Harmon is out though.
Oh, I'll just stick in Yaya Black then. Take one goes out. We've got Isaiah Loudmill, Daniel Ekule, Yaya Black, and Jack Sawyer backing up as well. So they're absolutely loaded. And you've got Nick Herbig as well, Alex Highsmith backers, Peyton Wilson. And then at corners, you've got Darius Slay, Joey Porter Jr., some kid called Brandon Eccles. He's now playing for them. Nothing good will happen with him. And you've got Jalen Ramsey as well. So their secondary is loaded. Their front 7 is loaded. Gentlemen, I think this is going to be a game about defense, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's going to be. I mean, the Steelers' defense has always been. I mean, as long as I've been a fan of NFL, it's always been formidable. And as they say, championships are built on defense. I think it's going to be a bit of a war with attrition of a game. I think we're going to put Aaron Rodgers on the back foot very quickly. Will McDonald, I think, is going to be absolutely blistering going after Aaron Rodgers, and I think that is going to create some panic. I think that they're going to use their run game as their platform as well. I think Darnell Washington is going to see a heavy amount of time on the field blocking. But yeah, I think this is going to be, we're going to have this first game of the season that we've all been looking forward to so badly. It's going to end 6-3 or something like that. But it is going to be, the best defense is going to win the game, I think, this weekend.
And who do you think the best defense is at the minute?
The goddamn Jets.
I think Harmon being out really helps us. I think we want to run the ball. I think that he probably would have been their best run blocker. Keanu Benton is a smaller guy. He's not going to be as strong in the middle. So I think that whilst AVT being out for us is a big deal, I think Harmon being out for them, their defensive line is still stacked, but I think that they're more aggressive going forward as opposed to being able to stop the run. And I think that's potentially something that can help us. I think for us, we've the stronger secondary. They've probably the stronger defensive line. I think that's kind of the balancing act between the two excellent defenses that are going to be out there on Sunday.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that actually. But again, it comes down to on one side we've got a young quarterback on the Jets who is still trending up, regardless of whether you think he's going to be a success at the Jets or not. His last few seasons that he's been playing, every single season, he has got better, albeit ever so slightly. He's very slow, his growth, but he is still trending up. And on the other side, you've got ex-Jet. Can you really call him an ex-Jet? It doesn't feel like he was here for 2 seconds. You've got Aaron Rodgers on the other side of the ball, Hall of Fame quarterback. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. But we saw what he was like. Anyone that thinks that Aaron Rodgers is or can be even half of what he used to be, you're kidding yourself. We've seen firsthand in the London game at Minnesota, and I was shocked how bad he was. I don't think he's not going to have got better, is he? He's going to got worse. I think he is going to be under pressure right from the get-go. I think our corners are more than capable of locking down their receivers. I think he's going to stare down the same old receivers, and I think we're going to get to him early, and hopefully he's going to be looking out of his ear hole.
Yeah, I think the sauce is well able to lock down Metcalf. And after that, then, it gets very difficult. I know that he's got Fairmouth, but he doesn't like to, as we know, throw the ball to the tight ends. What's going to be very interesting for me as a Jets fan, right, is watching how Aaron Rodgers adapts to Arthur Smith. So Arthur Smith likes to run the ball. Aaron Rodgers didn't leave us run the ball last year. Kept every time that like it was like an option play, he threw the ball. So like he was changing it at the line all season long, not allowing us to get the run game going. I think that like when we played them last year, I think we had like less than 50 running yards in the game. So obviously he wasn't there then, but he was with us. He's the opposite side of the line. But it's going to be very interesting to see if he's actually going to take direction. I think you've got two stubborn guys there, Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers. You'd think that, with the Steelers being so established as a coaching staff that they should be able to manage him, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I was just looking at the betting. You mentioned the betting earlier on. The money line is this: Steelers minus 150, Jets plus 130, total of 39.5 points. The Steelers are favoured by 3.3 to win the game, with a 58.8 percentage to win outright. They're going for it there. I think that's a little bit disrespectful, but I suppose they have to give someone in week one make it a favourite. But usually it's the home team that's the favourite. So I would disagree with that. Would you?
Did you see Rich Samini said that 48% of the attendees for the game are expected to be
Steelers
fans? So
yeah,
that tells
that's
you
disappointing.
They're expecting to win. I don't know. I think it's a coin flip game. My gut is that I don't think we win it because I think that we're still putting everything together. And, the Steelers every year are over 500 because these are the types of tight, low-scoring games that they seem to win. We'll have to wait and see. I think it'll be a field goal game. I think we can keep it tight. And I think that's, if we win this in a gritty win, I think it's a massive deal for us for the rest of the season because our easier games come at the back end of the season. So we need to get off to a warm start here and at least, win one of our first few games because it could get very sticky very quickly otherwise.
Yeah. Right. Well, I think we've pretty much done this, haven't we? There's not a lot to really go on at the moment. I think I'm quite shell-shocked by the whole AVT thing. So, oh, hello. Daniel's just joined us as well.
I am absolutely gutted. I am so upset and angry that just before we get to week one, this had to happen. I thought we were, we scathed through training camp. We came out unscathed in preseason. Everything looked excellent going into week one, and this had to happen. Absolutely disaster had to hit us. I am so freaking upset. And I feel bad for Elijah Vera Tucker. I mean, you're going to have to now upgrade somebody from the practice squad to be, in place of Tucker, and whoever the backup was is going to have to take his place. And we don't know what's going to happen. And, it was the only hope you have that you're not going to be deviating from this, whatever preseason. Here's my prediction for the Jets. 7 wins, 8 wins. They might make the playoffs. They might not make the playoffs. Throw that out the window now, because now we don't know what the record will be and how many wins this team's going to get this season. And you wanted everyone healthy to start the season. I mean, I know they're going for a second opinion, and I pray to God it's not devastating, but it feels like it is. And, they forgot to dig one section of the training field to take the kryptonite out of the freaking training facility. It's just, I cannot tell you how annoyed and how upset I am, and I feel so bad for Elijah Vera Tucker. I really do.
Yeah, we've been through this, and yeah, we've pretty much said the same thing. It's bad for him. It's bad for us. It's just bad all around. So, oh my goodness, what do we think the score's going to be on this one, guys?
Timmy, you first, because I can't give you my score right now, my score prediction. I can't. Go, Timmy.
I think it's going to be super close. I think you said the over-under is, I'm looking at 38.5 here as the over-under. I think that it could even be under that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be like a 17-16 game.
Oh,
I think that the Steelers are going to edge it. I just think that it's a bit early for us to put everything together, and I just could see them grinding it out. But I really think it could go either way. I'd be ecstatic with a win because, look, let's be honest about it. The Steelers have, they have that coaching, I suppose, legacy that we don't have, which makes such a big difference. And we're still green. It's still early. I would be delighted with a win, but I think they might just edge it.
I'm kind of going along the same route as you, to be honest. I was going to say 19-17. I think there's going to be very few points in it. I think it is going to be a bit of a slog. I think there's going to be a lot of field goals involved. I think the punting game is going to be super important for us. McNamara, if he can continue doing what he did in preseason and pin Pittsburgh deep in their own half. Aaron Rodgers hates being pinned back in his own half. If they can't get their run game going, and that is going to be the really big thing here. Have we done enough getting these new guys in? Have we done enough to plug that hole in the middle of our D line? And will it free up Quinnen enough to be able to be disruptive? That's where it lies for me. We need to pin the Steelers deep in their own half, preferably inside the 20, and we need to keep them there. And when they're punting, we need to have Pritchett returning punts, not Xavier Gibson fair catching it. If Xavier Gibson catches one ball where he could have run it back, I'm going to lose it. So I'm going to say 19-17, and I think the defense is going to be absolutely critical. The Steelers, we've said this earlier on, that the Steelers front four are just horrific, and with what's happened to AVT now, doesn't bode well. I think it's fantastic. We've got a really mobile quarterback, so I'm hoping that they do stack the box and Fields peels off to the outside, or our running backs peel off to the outside. That's how I see this game going. But I do think this is weird to say this in game one, that punting is going to be extraordinarily important for us in this game. Field position.
I absolutely agree. I think this is going to be one of those games where I think the defense will be prominently the big conversation piece in this game. Now I'm more composed and calm now that I'm able to think. I'll go 2017, and it could go either way. This could really go either way. That Steeler defense, they know each other very well. They're very strong. I just don't know what the offense will do for the Steelers. I think our defense is also going to be pretty good. I think we now have a little more question marks with the offensive line now this season with the AVT injury. Hopefully, once again, it's not that devastating with the second opinion. But right now, I am not feeling good.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? We do this every year. As I was saying to Timmy earlier on, Daniel, it was just really bad luck. I was walking outside with my dog, taking my dogs for a walk, and I was just thinking about the preseason that we've just had, and thinking, God, we got off really lightly. You know, we did have some injuries, but they were ever so light, and all the rest of it. And then
It's your fault.
Yeah, it is. It's my fault. And then I came in and I put Twitter on, and I was like, what the hell's going on? And there we are. Here we are. So I wouldn't say same old Jets, because it's touch wood, just one injury. But we hope Simpson, by all accounts, Simpson will be ready. So I hope that isn't gamesmanship. I hope he is ready, because if he isn't, I think the game plan goes out the window. So, yeah. And as Timmy said, this is a team trying to find its identity. It's going to try and find its groove. We might not see the offense that we want to see, at least for the first 3 to 4 games. So hang in there, everybody. It might be brutally horrible, this game one, but as you guys have said, this could go either way. I still think Rodgers should have retired at least 2 years ago. So I'm hoping that he lives up to his reputation and continues to be rubbish. So I think the Steelers were desperate to get a quarterback in. They've settled for Aaron Rodgers, and best of luck. This guy gets head coaches fired. So we'll find out who's the kryptonite is really for Coach Tomlin. Guys, it's a short podcast, this one. It's the first one we've done. Let's hopefully we can do a few more, and we'll be back on Sunday. I think, is it Sunday we're going to do the review, or will be midweek?
Well,
we're going
Sunday's
to do
the
the review.
game.
Sunday's the game. So of course it is.
So we got to do it either Monday or Tuesday.
So we'll see you Monday, Tuesday, with a review of the game.
That's
Okay.
right.
Thanks, guys, and let's keep everything crossed, fingers crossed, that this is a Jets win, and we start off the Aaron Glenn era with a win. Go Jets!
Go Jets.
Real quick.
Y'all know what to say. On 3. 1, 2, 3.